Good evening, pal. Emoji thumbs up. Wet quali dry race.
Hello, people of the internet. Welcome to OBF1 Tier 2 round 11. I was about to say 10. And hello, Neil. How's it going in the chat? As you can tell, we've got a wet qualifying session here at the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. But we've got a dry. We have got a dry race, and we've got a couple more drivers
Hey,
coming
Siren.
during the end of near the end of qualifying. Sorry, Mank's going out on the wet by the seams of things, which is interesting considering the others are on intermediate tires. It's just going to be interesting to see which tires are quicker. Hi Pete in the chat, how's it going? Let me just send invite just to Aeon, I think. Let me just go through my list of people that should be here. Right, unbuilt in, right, okay. Yeah. CDM was supposed to be doing something with me, but turns out he didn't want to. Well, not that he didn't want to, he hasn't turned up. Shock. Right, okay. I will get back to the action in a second. Now, give me 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. Oh, I can't remember which one it is. It's one of these. I'll send it to. There we go. That is it. So, Kenna was. Anyone set an actual lap time yet? No, they haven't. That's great news. So, we're on board with Liam as he starts the first flying lap of tonight, I believe. Currently on the long right hander. Brake nice and early, especially in the wet for this corner. Don't want to get it too wrong. You end up in a wall. A little bit of wheel spin coming out of that exit after the chicane. Do the first of the Lesmos, now the second. Looking pretty decent. Don't want to overdo it on the curbs in the wet, which he doesn't. Gets nice traction out. Obviously no DRS because it's wet, so they're going to have to do it on talent and hot lap ERS mode alone. Almost cuts the line there and invalidates his lap, but doesn't. Keeps it on the track. Obviously Liam coming back to the league again after a week out. Let's see if he could put that Haas on pole and keep it there for the rest of the night. Be interesting to see. We still got one of the McLarens in the pit of Neil Monza. Maybe he's hoping for a little bit for the track to speed up a bit, but so 130 to beat at looking to my front door then. Marsh the second one to set a lap tonight. Now he's gonna pop in on 131. He's putting himself in P2 with Pistol Racing right behind, putting a 130.1, beats Liam to pole position. There's there's just under a tenth between them. Mank Red Devils retired. He's lost it coming out of Ascari, so has Kenna. Lost it on the Parabolica, but luckily Kenna only probably has a little bit of damage to his front wing and talent. So we got Unbuild coming through Ascari now, where Mank lost it, and turns out them wet tyres weren't good enough for him. So it's going to be interesting to see how things go and look for them, really. And Bill comes across the line now with a 133, puts himself in P5. Not good enough for pole or the top 3, but it's still good enough. It's a decent lap. Obviously we've only got 10 drivers, Aeon obviously joining later. Sad to see that 5 people have checked out. That's quite disappointing, considering. But hopefully next week we have a bit more drivers. But Pete sets another fastest lap again. 129.7 the lap to beat at the minute on intermediate tyres. So intermediate tyres definitely the tyre to be on, not the wets. Who's going to be coming across the line next? Unbill looks like he's crossing the line next. Obviously as Mank is out of the session. Coming through Ascari nice and easy. Using 4th all the way through Ascari. That's going to slow him down a little bit. I kind of want to short shift up the gears through there just for extra grip. Looks like he's not going to cross the line though, because it looks like he's out of fuel. And talking about Aeonix Blades joining through the session, there he is. So that is our 10th driver, who will be our only Williams driver tonight. There's a lot more for tier 1 if you want to stick around for that. At 8:30 they'll get underway just about 15 minutes prior to this race finishing. But until then, give a like, subscribe. If you get ultimate luck if you do, to be fair. And the driver of your choice, if Neil and Elaine are watching, Marsh could get pole. I haven't seen them in chat yet. Let me just change that top chat to all chat, to the live chat.
Nice toe from Mosher Smile.
So Mosher giving the toe to Pete, able to break the 129s. Quite a few drivers in the 29s, top 4 all in the 129s, and it's a very close session by the looks of it. Pete, the only one separated by 0.2. Well, nearly 0.2 in the 129s, and then obviously we've got Liam then the start of the 130s. Can anyone beat that 129.7? It's going to be interesting to see. We got Kenna back out on a lap. I think he's just coming through the end of sector 2. He is. He's going to come through Ascari now. He's going to want to turn in nice and early in the wet just to keep the traction. Short shift up to 5th, which he doesn't do, but he is now. You want to be at 7th, I believe. Well, I normally come out of that Ascari and 7th in the wet, just for the extra grip. Use a dab of the overtake, which we don't actually have in quali, so what I'm saying there is a little bit irrelevant. I don't actually know if people can hear me. I don't think I've changed my settings, so I think they can. I'm just gonna check, because if you can't, then I've messed up, haven't I? So let's just have a double check, shall we? Yeah, we're all good. All good. Fantastic. Cool beans, cool beans.
We can hear you, mate.
Oh, Marcus, nice to see you in the chat.
We can hear you.
It's been a while, Marcus. How's it going? Still trying to defend that Tier 1 championship? Do you think we can win it? Well, there's no way I can win it, so you're safe from me. Aeon Blades. Join. Takes way too much curb there. but manages to keep his car in a straight line. Hopefully he hasn't forgot his setup either. He's still got 7 minutes
The
left.
championship is long gone. I'll need Jin to the NF every race basically. Emoji face with tears of joy.
Well, Marcus, you do have a teammate that you could use, you know. Tell him to accidentally forget his brake magic. But Aeon joining quali late, setting his first qualifying lap here, takes it very deep to the second Lesmos, but doesn't look like it's going to be a bad lap. Neil Moser has lost the rear end.
Good idea, I'll message him now.
He's probably seeing the chat right now. He is normally in the chat every week, so you might see it. I want proof as well. Send me a screenshot. But AI display is now coming across the line. It's looking like a very quick first lap. He's good enough for P7 with a 1:30.9. Almost in the 1:31s. Only driver that's slower than him at the minute is Unbuild. We got Mank and Neil Moser both starting at the back, not able to set times, but we have got a McLaren about to set a lap time with a purple sector 2 as well. James, can he put this McLaren on the front row? But Tifosi would be very disappointed.
Too. Emoji loudly crying face, matched pole sector 1 annoyingly.
Oh, that is annoying. James, though, puts his McLaren in P2. Neil's got to be happy with that. Hopefully a lot of constructors' points coming this week for McLaren. But obviously, Neil will be starting at the back after that DNF. He got very unfortunate. I'm assuming he lost the rears coming out. Which is unfortunate, but it happens, I suppose. I got a message. What have I got a message from?
Never
Marcus.
a bad thing starting at the back here though. Emoji eyes, emoji rolling on the floor laughing. Check you messages, emoji face with tears of joy.
Right, Marcus, I've just checked my messages. That's great. I can't believe we've actually done it. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, I do like that. Back on board with James. Currently down on his previous lap time. Can he make Sector 3 a purple one? It's possible if he pushes hard enough. It's 129.4. He has improved, but it's still not good enough for a pole position. And Super Calgon with a 129.1. I completely missed that.
Is it a wet race or dry, do we know?
Neil Moser has told me it is it's a dry race. Wet quality dry race. That's as far as I know at the minute. But who knows? Maybe the weather will change as James has set another purple sector 1. Trying to get that pole position from Super Calgon. He's not that far off, only a couple of tenths to actually beat it. Will he be able to? As Mosh comes across the line now with a 130.3. He doesn't improve on his last lap. And he's going to go again, probably. Is there anyone else that's not in the pits? Everyone else in the pits coming out now to finish there, to start one more lap of this Italian Grand Prix qualifying. So far the Mercedes are looking good with a 3-4 second row lockout for Mercedes at the minute. I wonder if anybody can split them. Alpine on the first spot of the grids. tomorrow. Never mind, James set a 129.001, almost 129 flat. That must have been a cracking lap. It's a shame we've missed that. But James has put that McLaren on the front row. Wonder if Super Calgon is going to come out. He has to come out now if he wants to improve. And he's going to have to cut turn 1. But I don't think he will come out. So that means we've only got a few drivers out on track. We got Pete, we got Mosh, we got Kenna, we got James. Still out. James, I think, will be happy with that. Especially if it's a dry race. I don't know what CDM's doing, because he was supposed to be joining me and now he's not. Staff chat. I ain't got a clue. Let's have a look. Oh, Mosh has binned it coming out of the chicane. Don't think he got any damage. But he did definitely...
El Chackle says as number 2 driver he is happy to take one for the team. Emoji face with tears of joy. Emoji face with tears of joy.
Alright, so we now know Tier 1 AlphaTauri's team game. Speaking of AlphaTauri, we don't actually have one on the grid tonight. Hold on. I keep thinking I hear something, but I'm not. I'm going crazy. How long have we got left to qualifying? We got 40 seconds left off qualifying. Can Super Calgon get across the line to start his last flying lap? He's only got 30 seconds to do it. In the wet, he would do it easily. But it is wet, so he's just going to do it. He's going to have about 15 seconds left, so he is okay. Pistol Racing puts his Mercedes on pole. 128.9, the time to beat. As the drivers come across the line now to start their last laps. We're going to stick on board with Super Calgon to see what he could do. But Pistol Racing in the Merc, the time to beat. James, Mosh and Unbuild will not be able to improve on their times as they're in the pits, obviously. But Super Calgon currently coming to the turn 3 into the first chicane. He is down by 3/10 on his best lap time. He does get a good exit though, good traction on the exit. Obviously trying to stick to the best line possible around this wet circuit. Doesn't go too wide. There was a nice line through there. It looks like he's gonna hasn't got enough front end grip coming out of there. I don't know, maybe too much front end grip or not enough rear grip. He is 5/10 down. I don't think he will improve. There is a Haas behind him, so he might want to get a move on, who is currently 6/10 up on their best lap. Liam hoping to improve his 130 and possibly put himself in the top 3. I don't think it's good. 6/10 isn't going to get him far though. Liam crosses the line 129.2. He's put himself on the second row, and that is the end of qualifying here tonight. We'll get the race underway in a couple of minutes, but for now we have Pistol Racing on the front
Dry
grid
race
slot.
markers.
James P2, Kenna P3, Super Calgon P4, Liam P5, Mosh P6, Unbuild P7, P8 is Aonix Blades, who joined late through qualifying, and P9 and 10 with no time is Mank and Neil Moser. So that is your
Top
start.
5 split by 2.5 tenths.
So that is your lineup tonight for the your starting lineup for the front for I've lost my English, mate. My English's gone. I don't know what's going on. I need something a second. I am standing up. I just accidentally unplugged my mic. And I've just destroyed everything. Ah! This is not going
Good
well.
luck, boys. Emoji thumbs up.
I hope the race doesn't start while I'm standing up because I'm looking for something. Is that it? It is! Oh! See! Five red lights, and away we go for round 11 at Monza. Pistol Racing looks like he's got off to a good start. Is he going to keep his lead into turn one? There's a few drivers trading places. We have a car on the grass in unbuild, I think it was. But looks like everyone doing their best to avoid as much carnage as they can in turn one. And that is all our drivers through turn one. Wouldn't say cleanly, but without damage, I think is the best way to say it. But Unbuild currently lost a lot of places. He's currently in P10 now. Neil Moser up to Mank has stayed in P9. Mosh has dropped a few, I think. But Pistol Racing still 5/10 ahead of James. And he's going to want to look to keep that lead into turn one. Not into turn one, sorry. Keep that lead for the rest of the race. That's what I was meant to say. We got that McLaren there, kind of skipping that, cutting the corner a little bit. He's definitely going to get a warning for that. But he's going to look to make the move on Super Calgon before the Parabolica. Can he do it? He can. He's in P3. Can he keep the lead on the straight, though? Who's running more downforce? Who's got less drag? That's what this is going to come down to at the minute. And it looks like Kena might have... No, looks like Super Calgon's going to come back at him in turn one. He does. They're going to go side by side through turn one. There's a little bit of contact from the rear there. That was Liam, I think. I'm getting messages. Right. These two still going at it as we come through the Lesmos. Kenna's still in the lead, but Super Calgon trying his hardest to get past. Mank has lost it coming out of the chicane by the looks of it. Hopefully the chicane hasn't sent it flying. No, that was the first Lesmos. It wasn't a chicane. He might have a little bit of wing damage then after that then. He doesn't have wing damage. He got lucky not to get any wing damage, to be fair. So, James only 4/10 behind Pistol Racing. Hold on, I gotta go a second. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So James, almost went side by side, staying behind for DRS. As DRS is going to be active this lap. Well, it was active the last lap round, but he will be able to get the move done with the DRS this time. But Pete looking like he's got a decent setup for straight line speed. Pete's putting him right to the grass, not on the grass though. Good spatial awareness there by Pistol Racing. But James manages to make the move, and he's got the lead on lap 4 after turn 1. I wonder what happened to Neil. He's pitted rather early. And Bill pitting out as well. Neil going on the mediums. He may have to pit again. He's going to be hoping for a safety car this race, because I don't think that's going to be enough. There's a bit of lagging going on in the background. Liam trying to gain as many positions as he can. He's going to want to get past Super Calgon as quickly as possible as well. He's going to do it into the Ascari. Who's going to brake later? Who's going to gain the position? Liam has got past Super Calgon into Ascari. But it looks like Super Calgon might be able to come back at him as Liam lost the rear end and he's taken out. He's lost his front wing. He's not out of the race though. The Super Calgon will have wing damage for that, and we have got a VSC. It's not going to be a safety car, but that was unfortunate from the pair. Obviously, there was not much Liam could have done. He did lose the rear end. It was pretty difficult, but we have now got the VSC out, so we got a few drivers pitting. Oh, we got the 2 with damage pitting. That was a very unfortunate incident that we've witnessed. Obviously, Mark is wishing you guys good luck. But I wonder when this VSC is going to go in and we're away with green flag racing again. We're also going to wish we will have Antonis back as well for tier 1, and he's saying we don't have to worry about his connection anymore, so it'd be great to have you back, Antonis. We haven't seen you race for ages. I think last season was the last time we seen you race, so it's about time, mate. It's about time. But we are green flag racing again, and James trying to get the lead off Pete again. Who's going to brake later? The side by side into turn 1. There's a little bit of contact, but James gets the position again. Can Pistol Racing come back at him again? Mosh not able to make the move on Aeon either, but they are still battling it out. Obviously, them two the closest battles on track at the minute. Oh, James is in the gravel. James has gone right to the chicane. Maybe he got a little bit of air on that sausage curve, but that's going to slow him down a bit. He's going to want to catch up to Pistol as quick as he can. Luckily, well, he won't have DRS. I think Ken has got the DRS now. Kenna does. And James won't have any. So that's going to let Kenna catch up to James. Obviously, that curb easily catches people out. It's caught me a few times. And I wanted to cry every time. I had serious emotional damage. But now Aeon right on the back of Mosh as they come through the detection point. Is Aeon going to be able to get past him before turn 1, or is he going to have to try and brake later? Mosh moving slightly to get back to the left hand side as Super Calgon gets a penalty for track limit. But Aeon has made the move on Mosh before turn 1. He's got past nice and cleanly. Mosh looking like he's got a decent line and a great exit out of turn 1, Mosh. I haven't seen Mosh's fan club in the chat yet, so I don't know if they're watching. I think they're away. I don't know. But I have to thank them for that Sillet Bang song. It was great. If you haven't seen it, type in the Sillet Bang rave mix. Honestly, it's the best thing you'll ever see in your life. But Kenna now, within a second, within 5/10 of James. Has James made another mistake? I'm not sure. Kenna though with the DRS didn't look like it was open, but it is. Can Kenna get James on the main straight? As James doesn't look like he can catch up with Pete either, so maybe he's got a little bit of floor damage from the curb. I'm not sure. That is possible in these lobbies. Same as the rear diffuser. But F1 2022, man, you can get stuck in a gravel. Also, you can get stuck on a curb if your setup's too low. So that's going to be an interesting factor into our races next season. But as we talk about next season, let's focus on next season as Mosh. This season, sorry, as Mosh gets past Aeon Blaze before turn 1. These two just swapping positions on the main straight. Aeon takes it a little bit wide in turn 2 on the exit, allowing Mosh a little bit of breathing room. Not much though, it's only 4/10. Will Aeon get back again? Most likely if he sticks within this distance for the DRS plate zones. These two are closest battle on the circuit at the minute. Obviously, Mosh sporting that Devon Butler helmet, I think. Oh, Mosh loses the rear end coming off that curb. Manages to save it, but that's let Aeon in. And that's going to give Aeon a little bit of extra speed. Liam has set the fastest lap on new softs. He will be pitting again, obviously. But Mosh and Aeon still going at it. This could be a battle all race. These two could be battling all race, to be honest. But as they are battling, let's have a look at the positions gained and lost, shall we? Obviously, we got Mank, who has retired from the race. I completely missed that. That was probably what brought out the VSC. It looks like Mosh has got enough gap to keep ahead of Aeon, does he? Mosh does keep ahead of Aeon. Aeon right on the gearbox though. Who's going to get the better exit? It looks like Mosh just got it. So that keeps Mosh ahead, but as these two are still too far. Pete with a 1.5 second gap. Looking good as we come into the pit stop window. Is from now till lap 13 is the time for the ideal pit stop. But Mosh, Aeon has fallen a second now from Mosh, so I wonder what's happened there. Maybe he hit the curb or something, but he's going to want to catch up as quick as he can, otherwise he's going to lose a lot of time not getting in that DRS. Realistically, Mosh could pit early and help get closer if he pits early to the guys ahead, because he's going to come out in clean air or just about behind unbuild, which actually could help him. It's going to be interesting to see what he does though and when they'll start to pit. No one's pitted yet. Mosh still hasn't pitted, and Bill gets a 3-second time penalty for the track limits. Only 2 drivers going beyond the track limits so far. Obviously this track is a little bit easier on track limits, apart from Ascari is really the main problem for track limits around this circuit. But as we've got gaps between the drivers, James catching up. He's within a second of Pete now, and catching. Obviously Pete must be struggling with his tyres a little bit now. But as we're on lap 10, the first 3 drivers have not lost or gained any positions. We got Mosh, who has gained 2 positions. Aeon Blades gained 3. Unbuild has gained 1. Super Calgon's lost 3. Neil Moza is up 2. And Liam has lost 4 positions. Which is going to be which is disappointing for him. He's going to be a little bit disappointed, and he's going to want to try and get some of them positions back when he can. He's probably going to try it in the pit stop window, which would be the ideal time to do it. But James, within 5/10 and DRS now, he's going to have DRS. Is he close enough to try and make a little move into turn 1? I think he's going to try and stay behind though, and he's going to wait maybe until the next lap or in the next DRS zone. That's also a possible overtaking opportunity if you can get a better exit out of the second Lesmo. He's close enough to do it. As we see Mosh now pit for the mediums. Is anyone going to follow him in? It doesn't look like anyone's going to follow him in. Unbuild has got past now. So Mosh obviously must have made a mistake or something. Oh no, he didn't. He's doing what I said actually. And now that's put Aeon Blades under pressure. Is he going to pit this lap? Which might make Mosh a little bit closer to him, you know. Mosh has to have the outlap of his life now. 2 seconds. My sinuses are a little bit blocked today, so if I'm out of breath a lot, I do apologise. But Pete now dives into the pits. That puts James in the net lead. And maybe has pulled the trigger for the pit stops. Maybe we're going to see a lot of drivers pit now on lap 12. They're going to be pitting lap 12 to 13 anyway. It's going to be interesting to see if anyone can extend their pit window and go a little bit later than lap 13. But it won't be ideal because their tyre wear is going to be around 50% now. Or just coming up to 50%. It's going to be on 30 odd with a full tank of fuel. But the gap is no one's within a second of another driver. Super Calgon is catching Mosh, but Mosh does have the newer tyres, so that's going to be a little bit of an advantage. As Super Calgon looking very loosey goosey coming out of turn 2. That's definitely going to make him lose a little bit of time. But at the minute, it's all looking good. Let's hope he doesn't do that a lot, because especially the next game, it's going to be a lot harder to save the cars next game. But also the game's going to be a little bit more realistic in terms of the way you go over curbs. The setups as well are going to be interesting because of well, all the setups are the same now, so obviously, as they described it, as the devs described it for this game, 111 wings is different in Monaco to here. But now it's the same, and you've really got to fine-tune that set for each track. Might make it a little bit more difficult to actually get the right setup. As Liam has retired from the session, Liam is out. Where's Liam?
CDM was doing comms.
Yeah, I thought CDM was doing comms as well. I've started a party chat with him and invited him, Jim, but he hasn't joined. But Liam has caused a safety car. Where has he DNF'd? He's DNF'd coming out of a Scari, so he must have lost it. So that's going to bunch the pack up now. It's going to allow the soft runners to fit a set of mediums and maybe not lose any places. That's going to allow Pistol to close that 25-second gap to Kenner as well. And it's going to spice this race right up. But James now pitting. Kenna probably following him into the pits, as I'd assume. They are going to come out ahead of Pistol as they are sticking to the Delta. Neil has overtaken the safety car, so he's not going to go a lap down, luckily. And he's going to catch right back up, and he's going to be able to gain some positions that he's lost. Oh, he hasn't lost any, sorry. He's gained some, hasn't he? Because he didn't set a lap time in quali. But that means he could jump a few drivers. CDM didn't show up though, Jim. So maybe I don't know if he's okay or not. So there's a chance that he might not be able to race tonight. So we're going to be another one down, maybe. I did message him in the staff chat, but I don't know. He hasn't replied that he's showing offline, so we'll have to have a look. But at the minute, James currently holds the net lead. We have a safety car, which is going to help these medium runners conserve their tyres. Pete has set the soft tyres. I'm not sure why he's put softs on. That's confusing to me. So he is on the softs, which is an interesting strategy call. Not one that I'd personally want to make, considering how long left of the race there is. Is it going to work out for him? He is going to have to conserve them tyres like hell, though. I don't know what that's going to do for him. But he's got his teammate in second still. Maybe he's hoping he can overtake all the drivers ahead. Pull a big gap. Pit again for mediums. He has gone on the mediums, I think, once. He has pitted. But he's pitted again. I don't know what the thought is behind that. I guess we're going to have to see how that plays out. But since the safety car's still out for another lap, let's talk a little bit more about F1 22. So obviously we got the new F1 Life, where you can buy sofas, watches and all that, and you can buy supercars, and you can hot lap the supercars. You can't race them, as far as I'm aware, but you can hot lap them. You can also do hot laps in the safety car, both of them, the Merc and the Aston Martin safety car, which is always interesting to know and see. Obviously, we've talked about the setups being different. Now, the setups are going to be the same for all tracks, and you've got to really get that setup right. Obviously, we've got the new handling model. Obviously, it's a lot easier to spin now. We've got the heavier tyres, the heavier cars, and less downforce. Obviously, it's interesting to note now that the floor and the wings are separate aerodynamic components in the next game, so they're not going to produce the same amount of downforce. So you've really got to get that set up right, otherwise things could go wrong. If you lose the rear end, it's going to be a lot more harder to save. But we have now got the safety car coming in this lap. James now controls the pace of the field and is the de facto safety car. So it's gonna be, he's got a long straight. He's really got to get this restart right. I thought Mosh and Kenna were going side by side. There's Super Calgon going side by side with Mosh, but he has gone, and Kenna has read that restart excellently, and is now going for the inside line. And is he going to make a move into turn one, or can James just get the break in later? James just gets it later, but he's got it wrong. He's gone very wide into turn one. That's left him vulnerable from a move from Kenna, but Kenna doesn't look like he got the exit he would have wanted out of turn two, which means he has stayed behind James, and James has kept the lead of the race. And that means there's a lot of work going on, but Aeon joining late in quali, but managed to set in a lap nicely. He has now got P3, but he has got that 3-second time penalty, which is going to drop him right down the order. So he's going to want to hope that the field starts to separate towards the end of the race, which we don't want to see really, because we want to see some overtaking. We want to see some battling. Talking about battling, Pistol making it past Mosh through his Scary, making them move nice and clean through there. And nobody looks like they're going for a move yet. They're all waiting for that DRS to become active again, which will happen in a couple of laps. Aeon just dropping out of a second from Kenna. But Pistol racing moves. That was a close move then. Almost went into the back of Aeon. Aeon getting right behind Pistol for that toe. And he's going to try and make the move. He's going to try to get past him again. Who's going to break later though? Who's got the bigger balls? Into turn 1. It looks like it's Aeon and Pete side by side through turn 1 and 2. Pete getting the much better exit though. Obviously he's got more grip on them softs, which is going to help him on the exits. And he has now got to catch up to Kenna, and he's got 1.5 seconds to close between the two. Oh, I am shattered today. But James now nearly a second away from Kenna, so he has pulled away, which is going to help him, especially when he gets out of DRS, because the DRS on the main straight here is extra powerful because of how long that straight is and the speeds that these cars get up to. But it's looking all good at the minute. Anyone fighting for positions? Not really, but Neil right on the gearbox of unbuild, gone through the detection point, so even if he overtook now, he would have DRS. And speaking of DRS, DRS is now enabled, so it will be they will be eligible to use it in the next detection point. I thought I was muted for a second. Had a little heart attack, but I'm not, so it's all good. So now that the DRS is active, oh, Aeon getting a very bad exit, allowing Mosh to try and make a move. Will Mosh get the move done before the chicane? Aeon pushing him really wide, nearly onto the grass there Mosh went, but he didn't. And Mosh just giving him a little tap there to tell him he's there. Mosh gets the move done nicely in the chicane. Now Super Calgon trying to make the most of that battle and trying to get past Aeon as well. But obviously Aeon now trying to get that position back on Mosh. He will have DRS from Mosh. Mosh won't have the DRS either, so it's going to be interesting to know what happens and where. Talking about interesting, James now got a 3-second time penalty, and he is under threat from Kenna in the next DRS zone, which is right around the corner, literally. He's got to keep that lead. He's got to extend that lead to 3 seconds if he wants to keep P1 and keep the top step of the podium. Talking about positions, Neil Monza got past Unbuild, but Unbuild trying to fight back, but he's not going to. But Neil now also getting past Aeon into turn 1. Is he going to brake later? He does brake slightly later. They go side by side. Who's going to get the better exit? Obviously, Neil got the outside line, gets on the curb, but still manages to get ahead and stays ahead. Aeon falling back massively now. Super Calgon's next on his list as Super Calgon approaches Mosh, but is too far back to make the move. As Aeon gets past Neil Monza, but gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting and has to hand back the position. That's really going to hurt his race there. But back to racing at the front now. We got Pete 2/10 behind his teammate. Is he going to be allowed to let past, or is he going to have to fight for that position? As he's right close, he's trying to get past before the detection point, which is what you don't want to do. That was quite an aggressive overtake there from Pete as he gets past Kenna. Kenna does the switch back though through the parabolica. You don't see that often. He's got the position back. He's also got the DRS, I believe. But Pete looks like he's got less. Well, Pete also will have DRS as well. There's been a crash. Kenner is out of the race. There's contact with his teammate. And he is now out of the race. After contact with his teammate. That is a massive, massive incident there for Kenner. As Aeonix Blades is in the gravel. He's Tokyo drifting round. And he's in the wall. Is he out of the race? He is out of the race. There's two incidents, a couple of centimeters, and that is a second safety car. Aeon brings out the safety car for a second time as he lost control of his car, went into the gravel, and couldn't save it from there. He was a passenger. Kenner brought out the VSC, and Mosh has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. So this has now brought out another safety car, and I bet you all... Mosh has retired from the session. Everyone is just dropping out of the session like flies at the minute. We're now down to 5 drivers left in this race. And I bet you any money they're all going to pit for softs. But that was a crazy little minute going on in that race. We have Mosh typing in the chat. Was there contact with someone, him and someone, or has he just binned it? It's going to be interesting to see what is said. But we've got Super Calgon in the pit. We've got Neil Monza. Some drivers have not pitted. Pete hasn't pitted. James hasn't pitted. I want to know what Pete's tyre wear's on. He's on 6 lap old softs. So his tyres are only going to last another 6 laps. So that safety car has helped him a bit. He could serve them tyres and he could probably go to the end now. But Super Calgon apparently has run Mosh off the road. I haven't seen it, but it will be in the incident report. Speaking of the incident report, since we got a safety car, I will open it early, just so people can post their incidents. But that has been a very, very interesting couple of minutes in this race. So we will have a safety car out for another 3 laps probably. But Super Calgon run him off the road and now got P3. Obviously we got these time penalties that are going to affect people's races as well and finishing positions. And Bill's going to serve to drive through, but I don't think he's going to matter too much. He's going to get 10 points regardless of where he finishes now. He's still going to finish the race though to get the points. I wasn't expecting this coming into Monza, but this is insane. I was quite surprised not to see James pit for softs on the end of this race. As I say that, he's pitting for softs now by the looks of it. He's going to drop a few positions, but he's still got that time penalty that he's got at the end. So it's going to be difficult for him now to actually gain the lead. But Pistol now in the lead with 7 lap old softs. He's not going to want to push and use them tyres too much behind this safety car. And he's going to want to keep tyre warming to a minimum. He's right behind the gearbox of that Merc. He's really trying to hurry that Mercedes up, but it's going as fast as it can at the minute with Burt Mylander on board. But Neil Monza from the back to a podium sitting position.
5 out 1-0. That's crazy. Not even Monaco.
That is crazy. This didn't even happen in Monaco, which I was surprised about. I don't know what happened in the last couple of minutes, but we've seen 3 drivers drop out. I know there was contact with Kenner and Pete, and that kind of, I don't know if it caused Kenner to DNF or it just caused Kenner's car to be unsettled and losing it under braking then, or if the contact itself caused Kenner to DNF. But Mosh reportedly said Super Calgon ran him off the road unnecessarily. And Aeon just lost it. Obviously, Mank Liam were out beforehand. I'm not sure what happened to Mank or Liam because we were watching a battle somewhere else on the track. But it's just been an insane couple of last laps. And now we got a safety car out again for the second time tonight. Hopefully we don't see that out as many times in Tier 1, but it's a possibility. No one actually knows. It's a mad situation right now. We got the safety car out again for another lap, and Build has caught up. Neil Moser with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Will that be served now, or is that going to be added to his time at the end of the race? It's not going to be served. It will be added to his time at the end of the race. Looks like he was changing a... I don't know. No, he didn't change a wing, because I was too quick to change a wing. But 5 out of 10. We had 5 say no, they don't want to race tonight. Or they can't race tonight. We had Sanchez drop out in the last minute, which was unfortunate for Sanchez, but Sanchez will race in Tier 1 at least. But this is crazy at the minute. I'm assuming the safety car is going to come in this lap, regardless of whether Neil catches up or not. It's been out for 2 laps now. This is the 3rd lap it's been out. Crazy couple of laps, you know. Crazy. Nothing has been posted in the incident report yet. I've got a message actually from who's this? Alright, the safety car is coming in this lap by the look of it. Oh, I can't spell. Quick. Right, so P has dropped the gauntlet. He is away very early as James runs very right on that restart. The whole field has time penalties except for Pete at the minute, and we've only got a couple of laps left. What have I just seen from James? Not really sure what happened there, but that was insane. But Super Cal going up to P2. James dropped back down to 3rd. His teammate right behind him. His teammate's going to want to get past as well as the penalty situation. Well, it's not good. We got a drive-through for Build. We got McLaren driving very wide. He's now got 18 seconds of time penalties. I don't know what he's doing. Okay. But we got Super Calgon on the back of Pistol Racing. Is he going to be able to make it past before Ascari? I'm not sure. They go side by side into the entrance of Ascari. No contact, luckily, but that's going to be a warning at least there for Super Calgon, surely. That's also allowed Neil Moser onto the back of him. Neil Moser now looking to make the move as we see Unbuild going into the pits. But Super Calgon still keeping the lead there. Super Calgon moving late into break in there to stop Neil Moser getting past. James also in the pits. Unbuild coming out now. P4 at the minute. I'm trying to work out what's going on, to be honest, guys. This is insane. But Neil Moser has 2 laps to try and overtake Super Calgon and gain a 2-second advantage in the Delta to actually get P2. But at the minute, if he just sits where he is, he's on the podium and he'll still get 15 points. Who has the fastest lap? Pete currently sitting up there in P1 with no time penalties, 10 lap old softs, and he's got the fastest lap. So he's looking like he can get 25 points plus 1 tonight as long as he finishes the last 2 laps of this race. Super Calgon and Neil have now been separated by 2 seconds. Super Calgon still within a second of Pete, but he's got to gain 3 seconds in 2 laps, which is not going to be an easy task. He has got fresher tyres, which will help him massively. Pete's are going to be on something like about 50, 40 odd percent at the minute. Super Calgon's are going to be in the 20s at least. So it's going to be a battle of the tyres and also a battle of talent. Can Pete keep the lead with what he's got at the minute? What will happen? Will Pete win this race? Can Super Calgon pull a miracle out of the bag with that 3-second time penalty? He's going to make the move into the Parabolica. He's not going to wait for the DRS. He's just gave Pete DRS, so he doesn't want to wait. Pete now going to have the DRS. He's going to have a lot better top line straight speed English. Pete can have much better straight line speed with DRS. Super Calgon gets overtaken out of ERS as well, Super Calgon. So he's trying to make a move again into turn 1. There's contact. There's nobody spinning low, nobody's got damage, I don't think. Put Tux right back behind Pete for the toe. He's not going to be able to make a move again. I don't think he's going to be able to do it in the chicane. If he does try it, it's going to be a great move if he pulls it off without contact. Into the chicane, he doesn't manage to make it, avoids the curbs nicely, doesn't want to get sent up into orbit as some of these curbs do. James nicks the fastest lap from Pete, so Pete can still get 25 points, but he won't get that plus 1. James will get 11 unless Pete can pull a fastest lap out right now on 12 lap old softs, which I don't think he will be able to do it, but we will see. But Super Calgon really pushing them track limits. But I don't think it was enough, as both of them have ERS lights flashing. Super Calgon right behind now. Pete keeps the lead through the Parabolica, coming onto the final straight now. And Pete will cross the line in P1. That is a win for pistol racing tonight at Monza, with Super Calgon coming home at P2, Neil Mazza P3, and Build will be P4, and James will come home in P5. So that is the end of Monza. It was an exciting ending to the race. That second safety car really came out of nowhere, to be honest. It is a shame for Kenner, Aeon, Liam, and Mank and Mosh to be out of this race in the ways they exited, but nevertheless, that has been a great race here at Monza. Hopefully, we have a lot more drivers in Tier 2 next week for Monza. For Bahrain is next week, so hopefully we have a lot more drivers for Bahrain. And if not, well, we will be on the search for more drivers. So if you want to get in the Discord and join in with the league and get involved, whatever level you are, beginner, novice, or you have some experience, or you're a quick driver, join the Discord. The link is in our About section on our YouTube channel. You can also subscribe, it's free, and we'll see you guys. Well, we'll be live again for the Tier 1 start in half hour. Pistol Racing will be commentating over that for us. It will still be on this channel if you want to stay tuned. It will be there. But for now, that is it. And I shall see you guys. I'll talk to you guys next week at Bahrain.